Welcome back to Design Time. I am at Tri-City Furniture in Auburn with Kathy Kilborn. Before we get started, grab your phone and scan the QR code on your screen to learn more about today's topic. We are talking about American-made products. Kathy, with a lot of talk about the tariffs right now, there is some concern over made in America. We like to think all American-made products are great, but they're not always quality products, right?
Well, they've definitely had to learn how to compete with the imports. And price is king. People are going to buy lower cost. So you just sometimes don't realize what the differences are.
So in furniture, what has changed in the quality levels as compared to how products were made before imports became popular?
Well, back in the 60s and 70s, 80s, everything was made. You could run a tank over it and it would last. It used and abused, and it held up. But things have changed drastically, and really everything has changed. The frames, the foam, the springs, everything has been figured out, usually by the imports, how to make it less cost. And that's what people have demanded. So it is pushing the price down, but it pushes down the quality as well.
So let's break down a few of these changes with the framing. What is different?
Well, the good and the bad, okay? So with the framing, we're using thicker, solid woods. We interlock a lot of the framing, screwed. There's actually corner supports, if you can kind of see them in there, but it stabilizes that frame to hold up. In imports, they've switched to particle board. Some of the supports in between, they just use cardboard. They staple the frames together, no glue, no screws. A lot of difference, but you can make it lower cost.
And what about foam quality? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so the foams used to be firm, and you could sit on it. It was very supportive. Now today we think, oh, it's so soft, it feels great, and then we sink away into it. Keep in mind, if you start soft, it probably will get softer. But those are the variables. There's still great, firmer supports that feel good, but they aren't going to be in those lower cost products because foam is expensive.
A lot to consider here. And we talk a lot about recliners and how they seem to have a shorter life. Why is that?
Well, because we use them a lot too, but what they've done is cut down the framing and the steel. The steel is much lighter weight. It used to be a mechanism, was heavy, and it had a lot of cross supports. It was heavy duty. It would you could use it a million times and it still held up. Today, it's a thinner metal. I've had people push the footrest down and actually bend the mechanism, and that isn't a whole lot of stress. So again, that lighter weight and forgetting about some of those extra supports. You don't usually look under a recliner when you're buying it, so you're not aware that those changes are being made.
Let's go back to the springs really quick. What about the seat springs in our sofas and chairs?
Yeah, they've changed a lot. Good quality was always a coil, heavy duty, reinforced. There was reinforcement on the bottom. Springs were heavy duty, and there were a lot of them in there. A lot of manufacturers have switched to this kind of a spring, hooks from the front to the back, and it goes down when you sit, comes back up. After a while, it don't come up so much. So these band kind of springs, not only did they make them lighter steel, but they've also made less of them. Maybe a seat cushion would have 6 springs or 5. Now I've seen some that are only 3.
Okay.
So if you keep taking things out, it will lower the cost.
Definitely. A lot of differences here, and these are reflected in the pricing usually as well.
Yes.
Let's talk and let you do your homework before shopping. This has been another episode of Design Time. You can find more episodes on our website. Just go to WNEM.com.